Well, boys and girls, here we are yet again. It is another week of indoor and arena football action that has come and gone. The IAL came back with the European stars. Yeah, they were wearing the Glasgow unis, but I mean the purple unis were always nice. Did you know Sia Burley's out in Utah? Like, what a crazy, crazy time! Like, what do you mean he's out there? But yeah, IAL, just wanted to start with the IAL first. TAL, same thing, pretty good stuff this week, pretty good stuff in TAL as well. Don't really have much to say about that. Wheeling, yeah, they lost to Columbus by 1 point. Columbus kind of struggled a little bit, but the big thing from Wheeling is that they have a local streaming TV deal type thing going on, which is real good. That is always good to see and everything like that. And it's a really wonderful thing to see, the way things been going for some of the guys that have been around, couple weeks. They just were sitting there. They were sitting there for like a month, basically not playing a game, So the fact that they were able to get that and get a deal off for television and everything like that is a really good sign for things to come. And again, the AAL is in actually a not a bad position, not a bad position at all. Um, where do I begin with the NAL? Do I start with the playoffs or do I start with the nonsense? I don't know where to begin because honestly, we're taking two step. This league takes two steps forward, then takes a step back every time. You know, Omaha lost in the semifinals this weekend. Pueblo lost, in a thriller, like at the very last second, too. Last second play against Salina, too, that Pueblo lost. And then, of course, Southwest Kansas beat Omaha. Like that was obviously gonna happen. They just beat the brakes. They beat the brakes off of Omaha so bad. Omaha had the wrong graphics, like the wrong score graphics for the end of the third quarter. It was 42-17 at the end of the third. Momo was like, "What happened? Oh, we're so delirious out here that we're putting that we're winning 42-17, despite the fact we're it's smacked out there, you know." But earlier in the week, why in the world did the NAL have to put out a statement? Why did Commissioner guys board? What are we doing even acknowledging the fact that you had to acknowledge the Frisco team in the first place is insane. We know everybody and their mother knows that that team is not playing because there's again, like I've said before, I worked at the Comerica Center. There's no arena, there's no other arena in Frisco. The Frisco's team, unless they actually have something going for them, don't really take them seriously. And we have a whole statement being put out that makes absolutely no sense. Like, what do we do? What are we doing? Like, even the first go had to counter with a statement of their own. And it's like, and it's like they were like, we never paid any sort of fees or anything. We never asked or anything. We never inquired about anything of going into the NAL. And it's like, we're taking two steps forward and then we're taking, three steps backward as usual in the NAL. Like, I just don't understand. We just had one thrilling semifinal and a dud in the other, but you know, at the same time, the fact that we had to, just talk about this nonsense this week, which is I was like, when I saw it at first, I was like, are they being serious right now? And it's like, oh yeah, they are. But yeah, Salina, Southwest Kansas, the two teams that came over from the AF1 came over to the AL and said, "Hey, we're running this thing," and they're gonna run it and run it back for a championship matchup on Sunday. It'll be this Sunday, so it should be a good one. Honestly, if it's not Southwest Kansas winning that game, I don't know what it is, but I think it'll be a good one. Um, well, there's also, something else that controversially happened over the weekend. So the Oregon Lightning said, "Hey, we do not have enough players. We'll be able to make it out to our game this weekend, but we don't have enough players." At this point, Chuck Jones, I get where he's coming from, but at the same time, you can find somebody, pay him, like $25 or something like that. Just like you even said you had the flights paid for. But, AF1 put out a statement that said that Oregon was not fulfilling their obligations, which I mean, it was kind of obvious at a point it gets kind of obvious where it's like Oregon wasn't gonna make it. They weren't gonna make it. And the fact that they made it as long as they did, screams, because I mean, I was just like, they're gonna be okay. They're gonna make it through the season, maybe full after that because Oregon just, the Black Bears were a thing. It's like that was terrible, and then the Lightning have been a thing, and they played Washington like 9 times. So it's like there's really no point in them playing because I mean, at the same time, it's like, oh well, the arena's kind of a dump, for one. Insurance was also something that has been cited, and honestly, I can't blame anybody because remember, insurance, workman's comp stuff always is a big pickle to get through. And you can't just chomp at it. You really gotta get to the nitty gritty when it comes to workman's comp and insurance and stuff like that. You know, and Oregon just wasn't gonna make it with what they had, what they were pulling in, and what they were, as far as like fans in the stands. Either they weren't gonna make it. And I was just trying to be lenient because like I could really hammer into the AF1, but I mean, I don't really want to. So the AF1 just released a modified schedule about an hour or two ago. Um, you know, Kentucky gets the forfeit win against Oregon. 3 games have been rescheduled. The Albany, Kentucky game, for whatever reason, got canceled. Instead of just plugging things in easily to where everybody can play a game, it's like, oh yeah, let's do something completely different. But whatever. I don't I'll never get scheduling decisions that don't make any sense. Everybody knows I like scheduling decisions that actually make sense. So, but yeah, AF1, they're gonna truck along with the 8 that they have. And again, a lot of teams have been limping. A lot of rumors have been circulating. A lot of things have been circulating that teams just kind of limping to the end. There are some teams that are going to be limping to the end of the season. And it's like, I mean, some of these are very obvious. Oregon was kind of obvious. Like I, if I really really felt like going nitty gritty into every single team, I would say Oregon was one of those teams that was not gonna be making it. And I kind of figured that. We all kind of figured that because they were came from the AWFC. The guys that ran Oregon came from the AWFC. So and we all know how bad that was because Idaho's dead. Um, yeah, yeah, AF1, another lost team. We're not, we're neck and neck because oh my god, I don't want to bring back up the NAL right now because the Frisco team stuff just was stupid, so stupid. Um, but yeah, the IFL. How about the IFL? Green Bay toppled Jacksonville in a pretty good game. They're first place in the East now. Fishers beat Arizona. Arizona missed a couple of kicks in that game. Tucson upset Vegas. I mean, and then San Antonio. Basically, if them and Tucson, kind of get into it, over the next couple weeks, you know, they're basically those 2 teams are basically gonna be fighting for that 4th spot. And with Zach Calzada of all people putting up numbers the way he did, yeah, it's New Mexico. But there was just no reason for this. I mean, it got so bad, they said, "Hey, let's get an interim head coach in Jerome Hayward up in here." It's just like, oh my God. It was terrible. It was really, really terrible. San Antonio put up 70 plus on New Mexico. New Mexico just it's been a rough season for them. They've only got one win. Can you really blame the team for just trying anything at this point? They're just trying anything to kind of make it through, because it's first season's always kind of jittery. Um, but yeah, really fun stuff in the IFL this week, I think. You know, the arrogance of, some fans in Arizona and Jacksonville are really, really funny as usual, but it is what it is with that. Again, what else can I really say that hasn't already been said this week? I mean, I think some of the most comical things happened this week. I really do. Like again, the Frisco Steam thing. If it weren't for that, I'd be giving the NAL a pass. But there have been points this season where I'm just like, what in the world? Like, why are you the way that you are? You don't know that one meme. Like, why are you the way that you are? Why do you do the things that you do? Like, I cannot believe they still made. I cannot believe that statement was even made. Like the NALs has 9 teams that and if all 9 of them are strong enough, 8 of them are strong enough at least to make it through multiple seasons. You know, like like I, I don't know, man. I don't know. Will we get a 10th team, in the NAL? I don't know yet. I don't know. Not there's been like zero rumors. Zero like, there's been zero mutterings of nothing, you know, like the IFL's got 2, at least 2 confirmed. New Jersey is just another thing right now. We'll worry about New Jersey another time, but like, like I, I, I don't know, man. Expansion. We're on that point. We're in June. We're in the middle of June. That's how you know things are getting intense. Things are getting very intense. IFL is wrapping up in 1 month or so, and then the IFL national championship race will commence in August. And it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be real fun. I think Green Bay definitely looks very strong. Like Jacksonville's right there, right there. Really, really solid teams. You know, San Diego, Arizona, Vegas, which I think I forgot to say something about San Diego. Jacksonville, Green Bay, a really solid core right there. And if somebody, like Fishers had a long losing streak, but they were able to get it together you know, this past week. And if somebody can get it together completely, like, and turn their season around to where it looks better, because right now some of these teams are not looking good records wise. But again, there's still plenty of time left in the season in the IFL. TAL, plenty of time. I haven't even looked at the standings again because I forgot already. I've just been mesmerized by Nebraska's production and everything like that for the behind the scenes videos and reels and stuff like that. I've been mesmerized by them. But other than that, got nothing else really to say. Another week of indoor and arena football has come and gone. We lost the team in the process though, but it is what it is. But Oregon did say, "Hey, we are going to be doing something for 2027." So that's a quote unquote. We're going to do something for 2027. We all know, you know, that can mean anything. That can mean they're actually going to go for 2027 or they're going to just sit there and die.